Alrighty, let's get this started. Welcome everyone who is watching. This is my first time streaming, first time making a video too. I am gonna play Pokemon Red version, and I'm gonna be doing a very interesting set of challenges with it. Everyone knows about Nuzlocke challenges and stuff like that, and they're pretty cool, understandably. I mean, I have seen some very interesting stories come about with Nuzlocke challenges, but I found a set of challenges online that I haven't seen really anyone do before. It's the N challenge. Anyone who hasn't played Pokemon Black or White or any of the 5th generation games, Pokemon Black and White had a character named N, and his whole thing was that he would catch Pokemon in an area, he would battle you, and then he'd release them, and the next time you fought him, he had a whole different team. So the challenge is going to stem from a nice little set of rules. I'll explain the rules as I'm going to be playing this. So let's start this. Yeah, so I am running this on an emulator because I used to have this game as a kid, but like most good things, you don't have them, so you have to make do with what you can. Lovely starting on Magikarp. So, the rules for the challenge for this N run is that whenever I have to pick a point, and then it gets a I have to get rid of Pokemon that I have captured up to that point. So, in this one, I'm picking gyms and the designated rival in this game. So, the designated rival in this one would be Blue. And we'll see Blue soon in this one anyway. And I can only catch Pokemon that are accessible between the 2 different checkpoints. So if I go to Pewter Gym and go to Cerulean Gym, I can only catch the Pokemon in between for that play. And anytime I meet Blue and battle Blue, I have to get rid of Pokemon from that point too. So I know that there's going to be some people here that are going to be like, oh, missing no, put in certain letters. Not going to do that. I'm going to try the hard mode. So I'm going with R because I'm meeting out with N. So let's keep that same energy. Growing up, I always thought the little circle on this thing was a badge, and I was always mad that Blue always started off with a badge before anything else. Turns out that is supposed to be a necklace, and I'm like, oh, well then. So this guy, he's gonna be Blue. He's gonna be the rival. What's cool is that Gary is the anime version of his name as well, and Gary is also, like Gary Oak, is also a name for a type of oak tree. That's pretty cool. Blue oak is also a type of oak tree too. So they actually did very well here. I don't know about John, but I'm gonna stick with Blue. And I like how this whole bit with Professor Oak, he still always forgets who his grandkid's name is. You know, it's not like, visited the lab or anything, or is trying to prove to his grandfather how great he is. But I don't remember his name whatsoever. So, also, I cannot nickname any of my Pokemon. Any Pokemon I encounter is just going to be straight up their name. But that's just more of a fluff rule than anything. But it's part of the whole thing where technically you're releasing your Pokemon. Why are you going to nickname it whatsoever? There we go. We are home. The SNES. I actually still have my SNES here in my room. I'm still trying to get the HDMI converter for it so I can actually play that on the TV. But so for anyone who has not figured this is a really old game. This game came out in 1998, September 28th of 1998, in fact. At one point, it was considered the best-selling video game, even by World Guinness records of like 2017. It was the best-selling video game at the time. And this is your ma'am. Yeah. Yeah, so apparently the professor is looking for you, and we're going to be starting our journey. But yeah, this is the version of the game I had when I was growing up. I had a sister who was playing the blue version, and she was really good at playing the Pokemon game. She also would always pick like Squirtle, so which Squirtle is a very good choice here. Yeah, so technically, if I went into the lab next door and would have looked for him, he would not have been there. I don't know where Professor Oak would be in this small town, but I guess they need to put the narrative in there being like, oh, you gotta have this little cutscene. That's fine. But yeah, no, this game back in the day was my introduction to JRPGs, and I was at the right age for it to make an impact on me. And I'm still playing Pokemon to this day. Yeah. So, let's see. Oh yeah, he's gonna try to give us our starter here so we can actually progress to a certain point in the game, where we have to get his parcel. Yeah, I like Professor Oak as one of the big professors. The fact that like even to this day, with later games later on, they still hold Professor Oak to like the highest regard of Pokemon professors, and that in your case here, you're the one that actually helped bring that here. Now, a lot of people love picking Charmander, but not I. Oh, there's Squirtle. Squirtle would be a good choice here too, but I am more of a Bulbasaur fan, because it gets you at least an easy time for the 2 gyms ahead of time. And also, like, he's just so cute. Like, anytime I've seen any pictures of him, it's just like, he is so freaking cute. Okay. So, no. We are not nicknaming our Pokemon. Now, Blue here, he always picks your weakness, so he'll always go for Charmander no matter what. Apparently, there's game coding in there where if you glitch the game out and you don't start with a Pokemon, he will always start with a Charmander anyway. And I actually have some of the Pokemon manga here. Red always starts off with a Bulbasaur, and Blue always starts off with a Charmander. Which is weird because your character's name is Red. You would think, oh yeah, Charmander, and that didn't get showed up until like the Pokemon Origins anime, and I love that. So no, you try to leave, now Blue will battle you. Now, one would think, okay, so here's the battle. I'm gonna have to get rid of the Bulbasaur here, but I have a rule in here as part of the end challenge, is that I can keep my starter Pokemon and any Pokemon that's been given to me by an NPC. Not traded, given to me. So, and the logic of that one being is that there's no environment that they exist elsewhere. So you are adopting them, essentially. You're the person that's their lifeline is survival. Luckily, in Pokemon Red, there's not that many situations where that exists, where a lot of Pokemon just given to you. I think there's like 2 Pokemon in this game that has happened. And if I have any young viewers watching this, yes, the game did look like this back in the day. But this is Generation 1. This is the first 2 games that came out. So the graphics weren't the best ever. But to me, when I was 9 or 10, this was amazing. And I actually had the original like Game Boy brick. That's how old this was for me. I loved every moment of playing this. Damn, critical hit. Yeah, I think Blue's gonna win this one. Unless I get a special little critical hit out of nowhere. Man, he's just going for the lowering attack stat. I know, very ridding. First battle here. You're either growling or you're tackling. We got the critical hit. I love beating your rival with a critical hit at the lowest possible marker of health for a Pokemon. Nice! Nice! And that's also good. So, anyone who's also young and who doesn't know about this, back in the day, special was both your special attack and your special defense. So that will play a very important factor on choosing some Pokemon later on, being like, how high is their special? Because if you have a high special, you either have a high special defense or high special attack, and so you want to be able to use that against Pokemon with low special. Well, Blue twitch out there for a second. Yeah, so smell you later. Yeah. So we'll do Oak's little task that he wants us to do, which is go through here. Now, I always like talking to this guy. He always gives me a nice little potion. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Oh yeah. So this guy tells you one little graphical thing that's just like gonna be integral for future travel and puzzles that they will have in this game, where it's you have that little ledge there, you can jump off that. There's a little Rattata. Now, Rattatas are some of the fastest little guys here on the route. So, and he's level 4, so he's actually, he's not super strong, but he can just take chunks out of you initially. Ugh. Alright. Well, we lived through that one. We're almost out of the route. And we're at level 7. Making our way downtown. Ah, Leech Seed is so good. This thing will actually be the thing that'll help beat the gym leader when we get up to him. So, Pokemon centers in this game are basically hospitals. You just go to them, you get healed, they don't charge you anything. Now, so over here is where how you did trading back in the day. So, unfortunately, since I'm playing on an emulator, can't do any trading. Not that I would be doing any trading in this game because, well, Ed never traded any Pokemon. So there's no point to doing any trading. And that means, yes, if I come across a Abra, it's going to be sad. If I come across a Machop, it's going to be sad. If I come across a Geodude, super sadness. So, this guy will give us the parcel so we can continue on with our game. But, now, why is getting Oak's parcel that important? Well, other than the professor telling you that, yeah, you had to go get that. If you tried to leave, you came across this guy. And you try to cross him, and he's like, you can't go through here. This is a private property. You talk to his grandchild. Now, in Japan, this guy was drunk. This guy, so drunk he won't let you pass. In this one, because it's American, you're trying to appeal to kids, you had to go with coffee. That's another little joke that kind of goes forward with a lot of games that hit the US, being like coffee or milk is what gets people drunk instead of actual alcohol. Or in the case for the new Monster Hunter stuff going through, you have soda. Soda will do it to you. So yeah, that's the fastest way to get back to Pallet Town, is just jump on the ledges and go through the one patch of grass. So you talk to Professor Oak here, and then we'll get through with this parcel. Even though we got 2 levels, he's just like, yo, you've been through a lot. It's like, nah, okay, sure, I'm talented, whatever, I just know how to tackle a lot, whatever, dude. So we give him the parcel. Yeah. Here comes Blue. Blue is so annoyed that we had to call him back for whatever reason. Yeah. So those 2 books there, that's the Pokedex. Anytime we capture a Pokemon or see a Pokemon, it's going to give us data on it. And that's pretty cool. Some of the Pokedex entries are crazy, but most likely it's because kids are filling them out instead of the professor themselves. So, now we got the Pokedex. Now, I do like Oak's goal. Back in the day, Pokemon's thing was you gotta catch them all, which made sense for what Professor Oak's goal was, which was to complete the Pokemon, the Pokedex in all of this. really cool. Except you had to have someone who had the opposite version to help get you the Pokemon that would show up there. And you had to have a game cable. Luckily, me and my older sister, we managed to have the link cable, so we were actually able to play the game effectively. But yeah, I don't have the game cable anymore. I really wish I had something like that now, but I don't have even my original Game Boy anymore. So Blue's telling us that he's going to tell his sister not to help us out, but luckily his sister knows the shenanigans that he's up to and is just going to give us one anyway, because we're cool like that. Yeah, she knows Grandpa is, you know, the guy to listen to here. So now we can go up here. Man, no encounters. Alright. Oh, there it is. Speak of the devil. It's a friggin' Pidgey. As a kid who was watching the anime while playing Pokemon Red, Pidgey's design always threw me off because it never actually looked like Pidgey. It just looked like a real living bird that you had problems with. Now, anyone who hasn't been used to older Pokemon games, Gust actually just used to be a normal type attack. Wasn't used to be flying whatsoever. So that's why, like, my Bulbasaur could actually handle that. It's also a special move, so Pidgeys are not known for their high special. But eventually, when I get the Pokeballs, I can actually capture any of the Pokemon that are here, and that'll help me out with my first gym badge. But we'll have to see how long the episode will go. I'm gonna try to go for the hour and see what happens. Now I hope that I can actually get a decent variety of Pokemon and get through the Viridian Forest, no issue. But Viridian Forest is long, and I might have to come back to do some healing on the way through. But it's fine, because there's really only one Pokemon that I do need that'll help me also beat Brock out in this game, and that would be a Nidoran. Nidoran would be pretty nice. But yeah, see, the old man's gone right now. He's up there now. Yeah. So this guy, he can teach you how to capture Pokemon. I've played this game too darn long to be tutored like that. And he doesn't even give you anything for actually going through the whole process. Actually, did I do it dumb? Did I do it dumb? Yeah, I did do it dumb. Ah, boy. Sorry, gotta do like... Well, this is luckily not a speed run, so I'm not really too concerned about most things here. But I forgot to grab Pokeballs. Why go to the Viridian Forest if you can't capture anything? Yep, bye. So we got a decent amount of money. Let's go with 10. 10's a solid number. Now I have to get antidotes in this game. No potions. It's funny, the guy was actually promoting the Pokemon Mart, and you can't even get potions at the Mart. You can only get Pokeballs. That's pretty bad. But yeah. So, these little bushes, I will get a move called Cut. And this lets you go through like this level of exploration aspect to the game. Also helps with like backtracking or anything like that. I'm actually gonna try not to get a Pidgey, because Pidgey is actually not all that amazing. Especially against the first guy, Brock. Like, we'd have a tough time against Brock if we had a Pidgey on our team. So we're just only gonna use Pidgey for XP fodder. Well, that's fine. Pump up our Bulbasaur a bit. But yeah, this kind of changed my perspective on like video games as a kid, because before I had like Mario for the SNES, so it's figuring out that there was this thing for JRPGs that was pretty cool, and then 20, 25, 26 years later, it's still playable. Like, there's small things I can complain about with later games, but Generation 1 was a really good one. There was some bad localization to it, but what are you gonna do? So there should be... Is it not here? No, might not be. Might not be that one. Over here? There it is. Get another Pokeball. And my goal here for Viridian Forest is to get my hands on a Caterpie, if I can. If I can catch a Weedle, well, that's even better. Oh crap! So this guy. Yep. So in this game, to help anyone out, anytime you come across a random guy, if they looked at you, that started the fight. Oh, this is gonna suck. Let's try leech seeding. There we go. That'll help a little bit with the situation I found myself in. Yeah, speed does not matter to me on this one, because as long as I keep hitting and keep draining health, it'll be fine. See, that little guy is what I want. I want that little Caterpie. I love Caterpie. We're gonna do the same technique to him, just so that way we can cheese out some some health out of this so we don't have to burn out a potion. Unfortunately, most Pokemon in this game, it's like if they start off with two moves, it's either going to be the status move or the offensive move. You have a 50-50 shot every time. A little bit of health loss, but we got some back. That's all good. Alright, level 9. Let's go Bulbasaur. No, Caterpie can't cut it, as he also used a Weedle and it still didn't do as much. Alright. Let's see if we can actually generate a Caterpie around here. Or Kakuna. Let's go. Yeah. Unfortunately for poor Kakuna here, Kakuna only has one way to actually fight, and that's hardening. So we're just weakening him just slightly enough. There we go. We got ourselves a Kakuna. Nice. No, we are not nicknaming this guy. Now, if my luck ends up being we get a Metapod, it'll be great too. Ah, Weedle. We have a Kakuna. We're 4 levels away from a Kakuna in that sense. What we could do is that the problem with Kakuna is that he only knows Harden. That is actually kind of bad. And we could train him up to the point where he can actually have an attacking move. Or we could just capture a Weedle, train him up to that point, and then move forward with like a Beedrill. It's not like we're going to be releasing Pokemon anyway. I like he's called a hairy bug Pokemon. There's no hair on this guy. It is just needle and bug. Yeah. Ah, no. Okay. Kakuna again. Is that the tile? It's just that the tile of Kakuna. Let's do this. Bulbasaur has enough in there, so what we're going to do is that back in the day there was a way for you to get experience for Pokemon on this. It's still applicable to this day, but the issue now with like more current Pokemon games is that with XP share on for everything, you don't need to swap out a Pokemon to do certain things like that. So critical hit. Oh, I think if I remember right back then, Um, I think bug Pokemon were also weak to poison. Because poison type is neutral to itself. So we do this, we can at least get Weedle up like a little bit more. Because if we can get Brock poisoned, that'll be pretty good. If we find if we find a Caterpie, it'll also be a little helpful for us because, again, special is great. But I think, based on this, I think we're going to be mostly getting Kakunas and Weedles. I'm trying to remember if back in the day they also did the thing where you could poison a poison type. I don't think you could. Let's switch that out. Poison Sting is just not that strong. Let's get some passive damage in there. Critical hit, that helps a lot. Sometimes I feel like this game is smart where it's just like, yeah, this guy upped his defenses to an incredible degree. We're just going to try to cut this short. Oh yeah, he grew to level 4. So we might have to backtrack to Viridian because a lot of these guys are on low health right now. And plus we might want to get Weedle a little bit more leveled up to deal with our shenanigans than anything else. I might do a thing for this for the stream. Oh, I hate that. But I'm gonna do the thing for the stream where I could do ones where it's passive grinding. So I might do a thing where, like a half an hour or an hour before the stream starts, I'll just do passive grinding. That way, people don't have to watch me hit a bunch of Pokemon over and over and over again just to get to the thing I need to get to. Because that will be something that's necessary for like near the end of the game, but not necessarily something right now. So what we're going to do is that we're going to get rid of Kakuna. That way... Oh yeah, I have to deposit a Pokemon. And then we can release him. Yay, he's gone forever. It's not like we're not going to see another Kakuna anytime soon, but... Ah, shoot. B. Okay. But yeah, so we can just go to that patch of grass up to the north and train out the Weedle a bit. Make sure that he can actually stand up to the rest of the forest as well, because Bulbasaur's fine. Bulbasaur is easily going to have the most amount of experience out of all the Pokemon that we're going to come across. So I'm not afraid of doing a little grinding here and there for Weedle. Ah, nice. He got poisoned. Let's pray to God that Pidgey doesn't crit. Okay, sand attack. That's fine. Okay. This is gonna be a lot. You're gonna see me run around a lot just to level up this Weedle. I actually have a buddy of mine who would have probably hype trained out the Weedle, being like, "Oh my God, it's a Weedle!" and had probably a graphic or something for it, but not me. Not a guy who's first time making a video and recording a streaming thing. No, not me. I ain't that cool yet. Okay, so probably gonna... Nah, we're gonna hold that potion. Do the good old JRPG logic to that. We're just gonna hoard an item until we really need to use it. That's why I didn't go into the Viridian Forest again, because I mean, if I'm gonna be heading back down here again just to, you know, heal up again, it'll be fine. You learn very quickly in the game of Pokemon that Poké Centers are your friends, and you should always be within at least a patch of grass close to them, if all else fails, if you're grinding especially. I think that's why with like the more expansive maps that they came out with later on, they had to at least put a doctor or something out there, because the routes are huge. But that was the difficulty spike in the game back in the day. You're gonna hear me say back in the day a lot, but that's why I'm gonna go through every game from this game forward and actually show like what's the difference between each game that came through. Now, would I recommend this game for anyone else who is like the first time playing Pokemon? No. There are more user-friendly Pokemon games that have came out later that would actually get people more invested into Pokemon. I'd even say Generation 2, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Those would be some peak games for someone who... Oh. Yeah, too many tail whips will do that to you. Oh my God, Weedle, get a level up, my dude. But yeah, no, there's some other Pokemon games out there that are way more user-friendly for like first-time players. Generation 2 would be one I would say that would be a good time for people. But that's just because it has such a good story. Not as good as Gen 5 story, but still pretty good story for the most part. You have a good rival in that game. That starts making you question more about Pokemon stuff than anything else. And Generation 2 just had a lot more Pokemon that would go in there that were cute. That a lot of people would like. Especially like, there's a few in there where it's just like Larvitar or Sneasel, where it's like you have to get closer to the end of the game to even encounter them in the first place, which kind of sucks because those are like two of the best Pokemon there. But we'll switch to Bulbasaur, because I think Weedle would take one more tackle and he'd get knocked out. And last thing we want is Weedle get knocked out as we're trying to, you know, make him stronger. I think that might be a small goal for, like, near the end of the episode. Can I get the first evolution of Kakuna? Level 5. It is a lot of running back and forth. I am not spinning the potion because Viridian Forest can be a butt to go through, and so I'll finish the rest of Viridian Forest with the Kakuna if I can do it. But Weedle needs to get strong. Generation 1, I would have to say, like, in the sense of favorite Pokemon, that was in the original, like, 151. My favorite Pokemon around that time was Scyther. And there becomes a huge shift later on in the as each generation progressed, which ended up becoming, like, my ultimate favorite Pokemon of all time. Because while Scyther is cool, there ends up being way cooler Pokemon later on. But Scyther will always have a little spot in my heart in any playthrough. If we get to Fuchsia City, which is further down in this game, I can see if I can go hunt down a Scyther just because. Oh my god. Thank goodness Gusts are normal type, or else I'd be so livid with these Pidgeys. Let's play hit safe. That Bidoo noise for, like, low health used to traumatize me as a kid. Because it would be panic inducing. You're just like, ah, crap. Oh no, jeez. Gotta figure out how to make sure my Weedle doesn't get knocked out. Oh, that's the big thing also with Nuzlocke. If a Pokemon got knocked out in a Nuzlocke, you had to release that Pokemon. And that's why I'm always terrified to doing Nuzlocks, period, because I don't want to find myself in a situation where my own personal play recklessness actually ruins the gameplay for me. I'm slightly risky. But not too risky. Like, I'm being very careful with Weedle here just because I wanna have him get the experience gains necessary to move forward in this Viridian Forest. And I have a feeling we're gonna come across way more Weedles as we move forward in this game. I love getting the status condition on opponents like that. It makes the battle just go a little bit faster. I love just free dot damage. Especially when they're, like, at least for low-level Pokemon like this, like Rattatas, it really... Oh, no. Come on, Weedle. No! No, no, no. Oh. What if he whiffs it again? Okay, this is where my risky nature is coming into play. Let's see if I can actually get it off. There we go. Good Weedle. Was it worth it? Not so much. But he did get experience. And before anyone's wondering about how you could check back in the day, I'll actually do that once I heal. So. Before, there used to be a little bar that would show up like underneath the health bar. But if you really wanted to know how much experience a Pokemon had, you go to their stats, and it would tell you what you would need to get to the next level, and how much they've already gained at that point. So for Weedle, it is going to take a couple more battles to even get to level 6 in the first place, but would N nurture a Pokemon to make sure it can stand up to a fight better? Yes, I think N would go through the process to do that. N's a very nurturing guy. So it feels like, yes, I'm extending out this episode by making sure that I can try to get this Weedle to evolve into a Kakuna, but you gotta at least try for the little guy. Thank goodness Gusts are not considered flying type Generation 1. But Spam Hell is the worst early level, so we're switching out for the Bulbasaur. Critical hit. Always a critical hit when you don't really need it. Well, good job, Bulbasaur. You're level 10. I think that might be just the goal for this episode, since like most of the end challenge rules won't necessarily happen until like much later. Like getting HMs and dealing with even legendary Pokemon, so on and so forth. Like a lot of that stuff won't even happen until like later. It is really just making sure that you can get through Viridian Forest with only a handful of Pokemon. And this is going to be the thing with the end challenge. There's going to be the like pain in the butt aspect of like, alright, I'm going up to be able to beat Brock, and then once I'm done beating Brock, I have to get rid of these Pokemon that I've put so much effort and time into. But if I want to be able to pass through these gyms and doing that kind of stuff, I have to make sure that I'm at least prepared. I have to at least make sure I'm prepared to be able to, you know, deal with like Brock shenanigans or eventually Misty's shenanigans. You know what? I think I'm gonna use the potion here. Let's save a little bit of time. But save us a little time, even though we're probably going to be going to the Plague Center after dealing with this Rattata. Because these guys all hurt like freaking trucks if they spam their one attack over and over again. Let's risk it for the biscuit. There we go. There we go, buddy. Now, for anyone who wanted to notice that, yes, I grew to level 6. Alright, my Kakuna was level 6, I should have evolved from that point. Nope. This was one of those early generational things where it's like, you could capture a Pokemon at a lower level that was already pre-evolved around then. And it was normal. So Weedle does not evolve until level 7. So if we want to check out how much experience our little buddy needs, 120. So we need to at least beat up like 5 more Rattatas. It's annoying. That could possibly mean 5 more trips to the Pokemon Center. But that's what happens when you get Pokemon like Weedle. The bug Pokemon do need a little dedication and time to get them where you want them to be. They are the fastest evolving Pokemon, which is a perk. But until we get something like Scyther, bug Pokemon are not the strongest Pokemon there. Eee. Can't wait to get a Kakuna, that way he can actually tank some of this. Let's risk it for the biscuit on this one. No, he's gonna get knocked out in one hit if Rattata decides to just rando into a tackle. So we're just going to swap out for that. Perfect predict, there we go. Now, not gonna lie, even though I'm running back and forth and doing all this stuff, I'm actually having a... I was gonna say I'm having a lot of fun, and then the old man double blocked me. I preferred my NPCs to stay still a lot of times. Later Pokemon games, you could actually just kind of like walk through these guys. Or they could walk through you, or they walked around you, but for the most part, they would never fully block your way unless it was like for a story purpose. But until you got Grandpa over here, who's just like, I'm a free roaming NPC, he'll just cut you off like a bad guy in a Florida traffic stop. Huh, a Weedle that's out here. I think that might actually be a low percentage drop, if anything. That might actually help us level out a little bit, because our Weedle is actually way stronger than this Weedle, so we can actually get some good experience out of this Weedle. There we go. Nice, 29 experience. That'll help a lot. Oh, we're back to our normal grind of a Pidgey, or a Rattata. Yeah, we're back to the 2 Pokemon that are the Hurt Locker. Ah, nice. Poison. Please don't crit. Okay. Weedle's probably not going to survive the next hit, so we're going to swap out. Yep. Clean predict. So we're going to go back to clean up a little bit. You know, I'll extend my first episode. This is my first episode, so I'll extend the thing until we can actually get the Kakuna to evolve. I don't mind being like a few weird minutes over for my first episode. Now, the reason why I wanted to do streaming. Oh God, no. The reason why I wanted to do streaming is that there's just I don't play a whole lot of PC games. I'll be honest. But I had friends who were basically like, you should try streaming, it'll be fun. And I hadn't had a motivation to do it until recently. No huge reason as to really necessarily to do it, but I told myself if I was going to do it, I wanted to do it with a challenge in mind. Something that not a whole lot of people have done before. And I actually looked up to see if anyone was doing the end challenge for anything, and I haven't seen anyone actually do it, so I figure let's try it out, see how it's received. I told myself I can't just stop with like one game. I should try this with like a bunch of games. Let's switch out for Bulbasaur here. And yeah, so is try that out, and I figure if I take this opportunity to do a challenge of like the end challenge with all the different Pokemon games that came out, even if it's not necessarily Gen 5, I want to see how effective an end run can be in any generation, given all the rules that I kind of went through here. But it should be very interesting to see the way I go about different catching Pokemon, prepping for different Pokemon encounters, especially knowing that with a lot of these, I'm gonna have to give them up, at some point. And around the 5th gym is when I can start actually keeping like a Pokemon per run on that, but it's gonna be the initial part where I have to get rid of like a certain, like all this different Pokemon, like I'll eventually have to get rid of baby Weedle over here because it's part of the challenge. I guess it's kind of like how like most end run guys feel, being like, no, my Pokemon's dying, or my Pokemon's dead, and overwhelming sadness as it happens. Oh god, man, this Pidgey. Oh, it's a level 5 Pidgey. That makes sense. Oh, it missed. Ow. Oh. Sand attack is the worst here. But yeah, it's the feeling of like putting in work towards a Pokemon, knowing that you're gonna, okay, this old man, this Kakashi clone freaking dude being like, I'm a mirror technique you. Generation 1, man. Let's see, how much does Weedle need this time around? He's about a good two battles away before he's the Kakuna. And I know it's just like, oh yeah, you caught a Kakuna. Why the heck did you decide you wanted to train the Kakuna? You gotta have Poison Sting. Like, you can't just be coasting through life just using Harden. You know? You need to be able to do some damage output in your life. Yeah, so if anything, I wanted to just see with like the different generations of Pokemon and even some of the remakes of like Fire Red. See how well I do in that regard. Man, I'm encountering this is the second level 5 Pidgey that I've had to deal with. This is actually wacky that tile has that. Oh no, sand attack. No, this is gonna be rough. Yep, this. Yep, hit. There we go. Luckily they don't spam sand attack that badly, but it is still kind of annoying that accuracy decreases like that actually aren't that effective. Okay. I don't trust that old man. I'm gonna have a problem with that old man. Caffeine riddled alcoholic grandpa doing shadow techniques. But yeah, I love this very heavy feel of nostalgia with this game that I'm going through. It's so much fun to think about the possibility of trying to go through this game, thinking what could be changed, you know? Let's give Weedle a full dub here. I think he deserves it after all the grinding we just been through to get to this point. There we go. And then we can actually show you what the evolution looked like back then. There we go. Solid. And you know what? Not too bad. Not too bad for first episode, if I say so myself. So thank you guys for watching the video, for even paying attention to a stream. I'll keep doing this every Monday on Twitch at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'll even try to do a thing where half an hour early. I might do some grinding, depending on the situation at hand. I think next episode we're gonna head through Viridian Forest and see if we can get through the first gym together. So, see you next week. I'll put this video out on YouTube, and I'll do that every Tuesday. So that way, if you missed a stream, don't worry. I'll be recording this as well and sending it up YouTube. So, my YouTube channel is Ikiogami66, or Andrew Whitaker, whichever one comes up first on your search results. Google's crazy like that. So see you guys next week. Have an awesome day, have an awesome week, and drink lots of water. Alright, bye. Bye-bye.